Hi guys. Basically, this is part two of Skill Builder and how to make skills. Uh, this is just general things you should always know. We're going to focus on the velocity block, uh, last hit, and animation blocks, and just tips and tricks for all of those. Uh, and also just in general things. So, this is a tip. So if you want a character to have like these custom arms, then you want to ask them to play Mahito whenever they play this character. If you want the character to have a weapon like a hammer, ask him to play this character. Uh, like you have to play certain characters to be able to use certain things. Uh, as the only two things that you need to be playing a certain character is cursed partners. You need to be playing to use recon your moves, and then perfection. You need, if you want to use the self transfiguration, you should use that. Again, don't press these. Press M and N. M for build mode, N for flight. But what we're gonna start by doing is we're gonna place a spawn point just for convenience sake. Uh, make a black cube. Move it down. Uh, erase. Never use touch blocks. That is something you should learn. Don't use touch blocks. Most things work without the touch block. Touch block is just unnecessary. Bam. And this. And then add this. Make it whatever color you want. I'm just gonna make it red. And now, last thing, moveset. So this is just gonna be a more in-depth guide on how to make a custom moveset. Like a fully custom one. Or mostly fully. So, one, we are going to start with the moveset block. Input, whatever you want to call it. Let's say we're just making like a not a, yeah, Gojo moveset. So laps, I don't know, I'm just gonna call it blue. Now, let's say we want laps blue, but it does twice the damage and knocks them further. That's what these do. And also, if you want an awakening, make sure you switch these two things on. If this is a base moveset, make it this that's on. If it's an ult moveset, make it sure this is on. And this is off. You flip-flop between the two depending on what type of move you're making. So we're going to do Laps Blue. But the next guy is going to do this. So let me explain. So we want this to apply to the other player, but it's applied to us. What do? Instead, we come down here, last hit, make that 1. That's how long ago the person you hit it'll apply to, by the way. And bam. Now. Ooh, wait, actually. Not the good type of move. Okay, let's just say we want to do, rapid punches. Which I'm pretty sure works. So, also, if you can't find the dummy and it's your private, just do that. Hold on. What the fuck is happening? 0.4? Maybe? Yeah, try to add weights in between just to make sure it works. So now, maybe for some reason still does not work. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's how they work. And these will also apply to a lot of things. This is how it works for all things. With the last hit, that is the last hit explained. So now, let's say instead of this, we want them to float as we do the attack. X, Y, Z. X is left to right, Y is up and down, and Z is forward and backward. And if you still don't understand, basically these are the colors commonly used for it. That's why I'm using these. Yeah. And then I move up. And then, Yeah, this is what it this is how the best way to describe X, Y, and Z. This is what X, Y, and Z looks like. If you still don't understand, geometry. To fucking search it up. So, we want us to float while also going forward. This is the force. I believe like studs per minute or something. Time, 1 second. Fade. Basically, fade means it'll slowly fade away as it gets used. Track means it'll like, kind of like how fly works, where it faces you to where you're looking. That's the best way to visualize track. Ragdoll just ragdolls either the one using it or the one that's affected by it. And then true ragdoll means you can't dash out of it. So basically, now if I use blue, which I'm just realizing does not work. Okay. Give it 0.3 seconds. And bam. Still, for some reason, does not work. Yeah, basically, tweak it as much as you need. You saw how it works. Yeah, it's kind of it. Now, here are your tips and tricks. Number 1, don't use 5 or more moves. If you add a 5 move, don't expect people to combo with them. The 5th move, if you add a 5th, 6th, or anything above that, which, by the way, you can have a maximum of 8 moves in one bar. If you do anything above that, you're plain evil. Just make an ultimate. That is literally all you need to do. And for little other things, basically if you want a full move set, like if you want to give, like, for example, how Honored One, hold on, I need to, how Honored One has this blindfold, and how Defense Attorney has this hammer, but you can't give weapons, sadly, or how Utah has the ring around his neck. And this, basically just the visual effects, basically, that are attached to the body. That's what the accessory block is. Also, just go on roblox.com. It should be in the link. It should be like a string of numbers. That's what the ID is. Just search for it on Roblox, on the website. And then if you don't have a website that's accessible, then just go on actual Roblox. It should be there. Although I don't know why you're making a moveset with that. Then Awakening. This is how long the Awakening will last. So it's going to last for 10 seconds because of this. The custom name is self-explanatory. Everything I will be teaching you in the tutorials can be put here. So yeah. And then lastly, the special. Or not lastly, this is just extras. But it's special. It's an R special. If you want a 5th move, use this. Basically the ultimate, but without a name, and it's basically this, but it's here instead. It's basically the best way to describe it. Speed. This is the default player speed. I will not continue. This is the default player height. If I make it like 0.1, I'd be Toto's height, so on and so forth. And then damage. You can do that much damage per second. And then max HP. So if I were to walk on it now, if it was powered, I'd be set to 1 HP. If I were to put this to like 500, I'd have 500 HP. That stuff, it just lets you change health. That is it for this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. You see this guy? He's what you don't want to be. I'm so subscribed and unemployed. And that'll be you if you don't subscribe. The hell? Anyways, that's it for this tutorial. Welcome to the game show.
What is Bud blabbering on about? Get on there, get on there.